you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I want to talk about 5 unexpected changes that happened while I was losing 180 pounds and after I lost 180 pounds. So number 1 is actually something that happened while I was losing weight, and it seems like you guys also kind of felt the same way because on Twitter a ton of you guys mentioned this, but the first thing that happened was I actually went down a whole shoe size. So when I was at my heaviest, I wore a size 10 shoe. I worked at the Vans shoe store. Funny enough, actually, this was the only type of shoe that I could wear there because of how wide my foot is. This is the Authentic. I still wear them, obviously. So the reason that I could wear them was because you can open these up really wide and you can still fit your foot in there. I have really wide ankles, and I guess you could call them like cankles. So these shoes worked really well. I would always, I don't do it anymore, but I would always not lace the top lace right here because it gave me more room to fit my ankles in. So I wore a size 10, and this was the only shoe that I could wear. But now if you look at this, this is a size 9. So I went down a whole shoe size. And it's funny enough because when I worked at the Vans shoe store, there were so many shoes there that I wanted to wear, but this style right here was the only style that I could wear because it was comfortable, and when you're working at the shoe store, obviously you're on your feet all day. So it really sucked because I would see all these shoes that I really liked a lot and I was never able to wear them, but luckily I liked the Authentics, and so, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal. Side note, actually, I'm actually wearing a style of shoe that I always really liked. These are the old schools, and these are not as wide as the Authentics, at least in my experience. So this is actually a really cool thing that I'm able to wear these now because I really liked them when I worked at the Vans shoe store, but I can never wear them, but now I can. The second unexpected thing is that I actually get cold now. When I was heavier, I was the guy that it was maybe 50 degrees. I mean, it never got super cold here in San Diego, but say it's 50 degrees, and for San Diego, that's pretty cold. So 50 degrees, I was the guy that was walking around in a t-shirt and shorts. Like, I never, ever felt like I needed a sweater. I honestly, for a while, didn't even own a sweater or anything to put over myself, and I didn't even own pants either. So I only had shorts and t-shirts, and I never felt like I needed to put anything on. Now, after losing weight, and even during, I feel like I get cold faster than most people. So that's kind of a funny thing that's happened after losing 180 pounds. The third thing is actually something that I didn't expect to happen as fast as it did, but once I started to lose weight, maybe about 30 to 40 pounds, I actually had a lot of people coming up to me and asking me for advice. And it was funny because I was this guy that felt like I was always so much heavier and much more unhealthy than all of these people around me. Like I would compare myself so much when I was overweight. So I compared myself to pretty much anyone around me, and I would always think to myself, man, I wish I was just that weight. Like I would think to myself, man, if I was only 300 pounds, I would be so much happier because at my heaviest I was 360. Or if I was only 280 pounds, I'd be so much happier. And it was funny because as I started losing some of the weight, some of the people that I used to look to and think, man, if I was just their size, I'd be happy, were starting to ask me for advice. And it seemed silly to me because I was literally doing what I call the common sense diet at the time. Like I just told them, like, I cut out soda, junk food, fast food, like all of the stuff that you know you shouldn't be eating. That's what I cut out. And it was funny because even then, a lot of people didn't believe what I was saying. Like they would say, okay, but what else is there? And honestly, I couldn't give them an answer because it was such a simple change that I made. Now, weight loss is simple. It's not easy, but I do believe that it's simple. So for me, like I was just making these simple changes and I was getting so many people asking me questions. And it was definitely something I was not expecting, ever being asked how to lose weight, and then the amount of people that were coming up to me was really interesting. Number 4 is more something that happened after I lost the weight, but the way that I look at the world, mainly like food and people around me, has completely changed. Like I said earlier, I used to look at people and think to myself, man, if I could just be their weight, or man, if I could just be where they are. And I would really look at people, this is one of the biggest changes. I would look at people that were skinny, but they didn't seem like they had to try, right? They could eat whatever they wanted. They never had to work out. They just stayed slim. I would look at them and be super jealous. I would get so I would honestly get kind of mad because I'm like, man, why is it that I eat the same thing in my head? I'm eating the same thing these people are eating, but for some reason they're not morbidly obese like I am, and it would get me upset. But now, the way that I look at food and the way that I look at those people has completely changed. Like now I see that, and I see, this might sound kind of harsh, but I see someone that doesn't really know what they're doing. They're kind of getting by and getting lucky with, their metabolism and their genetics. But as we all know, genetics and metabolism only takes you so far. And once you get older, like it's gonna catch up to you. And that's kind of the thing that I see. I'm not trying to say that I see it in a negative way, but I just don't see it as something that I'm glad that I don't see that and think I'm jealous of that. I see that and I'm like, that's fine for for them, but eventually it's gonna catch up to them and they're probably gonna need to make some changes. And the same thing with food. Like I used to just, everything that I thought about was, it was always food, right? And now it's just completely changed. So definitely my outlook on people and food has completely changed in a way that I really didn't expect it to after losing the weight. Number 5 is a little bit more serious and it's kind of precautionary. Like I hope you hear this and you hear what I'm saying and you kind of take that into account if you are starting to lose weight. So number 5 is the fact that losing weight is not gonna make you completely happy. Now I know that sounds very cynical and very negative, but the reason I say it is because I remember when I was morbidly obese, I would literally have dreams of me being slim and being, you know, fit. And in those dreams, I was completely happy. And I remember I would think to myself, if I lose weight, all of my issues that I have, everything that I'm dealing with, all of these things that are making me sad or mad are gonna go away because I've lost the weight. And now there is some truth to that. Like there has been, my life has improved greatly. Like I can't even explain how much better my life is because of losing weight, like definitely. But it's not all just because I've lost weight. Like the confidence that I've gotten from losing weight, all of these other things have come because of the weight loss, but it's not just because I don't weigh 360 pounds anymore. It's because I'm more confident in myself. I believe in myself because I've seen what an amazing thing I can do, right? Losing that weight has been such a huge thing for me. But even then, it hasn't solved everything. Like if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you have these serious things, like I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to sound negative, I'm just trying to be real with you guys. Like if you're dealing with those mental things, I can almost promise you that just losing weight isn't going to completely fix the issue. And you know, maybe it will, and maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries, but at least for me, I'm saying that losing weight has been huge for me and has done so much good. Like I can't even explain how much good it's done for me, but it wasn't a magic pill and it's not gonna solve everything for you. So just kind of take that into account. The best recommendation I can give to you after hearing that is just make sure you're working on those mental things when you are losing weight. If you're dealing with anxiety or if you're dealing with depression or the gamut of, you know, all the social things, all the mental things that we deal with, just try and work on those as well as you're losing the weight. Work on your mental health as you're working on your physical health. That would be my best tip for that. But there you guys go. Those are my 5 unexpected changes that happened after losing 180 pounds. There's tons more stuff that I could bring up, but I don't want this video to be too long. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So if you guys have lost weight or you're losing weight and there's been some changes that have happened in your life that you were not expecting, I would love to hear those down in the comment section down below. Thank you to everyone on Twitter for giving me ideas, because obviously I always tweet out when I'm doing a video like this, kind of to get ideas, to get the juices flowing. So I appreciate you guys. If you're not following me out there, make sure you do so you can kind of, you know, get in on the action with these videos. But again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.